product, the Air and Surface Pro. I just love, love, love it because it does so much for people. It just changes, really changes the environment that they live in. So we're going to talk a little bit today about the Air and Surface Pro and the Air and Surface Pro Plus, what the differences are, the maintenance on that, because it's very important. We have a lot of these out into the field, and now we got to make sure that they're getting taken care of. So, and the other thing that does is it gives you the opportunity to reach out and say, hey, how did the first cleaning go on your Air and Surface Pro? And it just gives you another reason to reach out and talk about our products and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn around here. And as you can see, I've got two systems behind me. It might be a little tough to be able to see, but I'm going to explain it very simply so that you can maybe look at your Air and Surface Pro and be able to just follow along with me. So the first one I'm going to cover today is the Air and Surface Pro, and then we'll go on to the Air and Surface Pro Plus. And so here's the Air and Surface Pro, and a lot of folks are asking, okay, we've got a power button, and when we turn the power button on, if you notice, I put it over here. The first time it didn't go on. Why? Because I didn't put my finger on the technology of this is state of the art. So you want to really hold your finger on the technology, and now you see it did go on. So it did turn on the power. And when you first turn the power on, you're going to see these little blue lights here. This is the fan speed. And so we always explain that the fan speed should be higher the better, just so the noise is not irritable to you. So I like to run mine. They're very quiet products, very quiet machines. So I like to run mine at least at 4 and sometimes 5, depending on where I located in my home. And so the other little sign, you have the ion generator, this little ion, it says ions. Remember how we have different technologies in these. We have the active pure cell, we have the ionization, we have the HEPA filter in the back. So this is the ionization. This is the R frequency ionization that what happens is on a sunny day, the shaft of light comes through and you see the particles, your dead skin, dust mites, and all that kind of stuff. We drop the particle down. That's what your ionization does. And it'll go up to a 3-level home. It goes all throughout your entire home. The dust particle drops down. And so that's the ions. And I want to mention to you, some of these we put into homes, and we'll get a call from our client maybe 2-3 weeks later, and they'll say, Leah, it seems like it's making dust. And we say, congratulations, it's dropping the particle out of the breathing area. It's dropping, releasing from the ceilings, all that dust. And once you've had that initial drop down and you clean it up and wipe it up, your dusting cuts down tremendously. So that's a huge positive. The ionization, if they're getting dust the first week to a month in their home, like, oh my gosh, it's heavy. Yay, we're doing our job. We're dropping that particle down, getting it out of the breathing area. So that's the ion. Now, on the Air and Surface Pro, you've got the power button. You've got the reset button. I'm going to talk about that before I go to the next technology. I should have done that before the fan. But the reset button is there. It's every 30 days. It's an automatic set. So every 30 days, it's gonna flash and it's gonna say maintenance required. What does that mean? That means clean it. That means clean it. And then you say, well, okay, we've taken it apart. We clean it and it still says maintenance required. Okay, now we have to reset this and you have to push it on until you hear it beep. Now, this is not ready to reset, so you're not going to hear the beep, but that'll happen. You'll put your finger on there, leave it on there long enough, and it'll go beep, beep. Oh, there it was. And then that's resetting for the next 30 days. That's the reset button. That's the reason that's there. And then we have active pure and active pure times 2. Okay, remember the Air and Surface Pro has 2 active pure cells. Okay, so you can push it once and then you see the cell light come on and then you see A pure. That's what you'll see. That means one of the active pure cells is running. Okay, and if we hit it the second time, active pure times 2, that means both of them are working. You say, well, what should I set it at? You should set it at, run it. You're going to know as far as the cleanliness. If you walk into your home and it seems like there's still stale air, you want to run it on active pure 2 for a while. And then there's different homes. And I always explain this. You could have identical 3,000 square foot homes. And in one home, you've got a mom and a husband and wife, and they have two children, and that's what's going on. Okay, and then you have the second house, and you've got the same scenario, but we're going to add a couple of pets, maybe a dog and a cat. We're going to add they burn wood, and possibly one's a smoker. I'll guarantee you, you're going to run that probably on air pure times two, because the more pollution, the more purification. And it takes about 3 to 5 days to adjust it as per your needs in your home, because every home is different. I like to tell people, I'm from Minnesota, so I say, you know what? I run it like I would my furnace in the wintertime. If it's 30 below, I don't turn it up to 102. I just where it's a comfortable level. Same scenario on both systems. You want to run it at a comfortable level, and you'll know what that is. You'll feel the difference, because it's incredible what this product does for you. And so that is the Air and Surface Pro buttons on that. Now we're going to talk about the Air and Surface Pro Plus. Now, this one I've left the plastic on. Why? Because a lot of people say, okay, Leah, can you show from setup? Well, pretty much it's pretty simple. You take it out of the box, you take the 110 plug-in, and you plug it into the back. It does come with 220, because we do sell a lot abroad, overseas, so you're going to have both options there. And so you pretty much plug it in, and then you can just peel this off. It's very simple. You don't need it anymore. You can just throw it away. And now we're going to power up the Air and Surface Pro Plus. What is the difference, first of all? The Air and Surface Pro has 2 active pure cells, and the ionization, and the HEPA filter on the back. The Air and Surface Pro Plus has 1 active pure cell, 1 ozone plate, and the ionization within the multi-frequency ionization, along with the HEPA filter. That was easy for me to say, wasn't it? Okay, so here are the in the front of this, the different buttons. So we turned it on. Here right away, we have the Active Pure and the Active Pure Plus. So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. When we put it on the Active Pure, okay, we're going to turn it on, and the Active Pure comes on automatically. The cell is running. We're going to add the Active Pure Plus. What does that do? The Active Pure Plus kicks in the ozone plate, the activated oxygen plate. And so this is for, it says 500 square foot. What does that mean? That means it'll do a room, not a whole home. The rule of thumb is you want to place it in the size of the room, as far as the activated oxygen or the ozone plate in the size of the room that it's running. So that would be, if I have a room that's 500 square foot, that's where, if I like to use that option, that's where I'm going to put it. Okay. So, and then of course we have the ions is automatic, that's on, and the cell is running as well. So when we go to the Active Pure Plus, that kicks in the activated oxygen, or another word for it is the ozone. All right, and we can set it, we can push it again, and then it kicks off. Okay. We have a depart room. That means depart the room. That means it's going to, when you press it once, it's going to go on high for 2 hours. And then it's going to kick off after the 2 hours. It shuts the entire machine down. This is used for sanitation. This is used when you walk into a home and you've got a lower level, or you've got an area that it smells terrible of smoke, or pet odors, or mold and mildew and things like that, that dead cellar. That's where you're going to sanitize, and you're going to put it in the room, and you're going to leave the room. Okay. That depart room means leave the room. So you've got a 2. If you push it again, you've got a 4-hour option, and then an 8-hour option. When do I use that? I actually use that a lot, because I have rental properties. And if I go in and someone's moved out, and we want to sanitize something that maybe that's, if there was a smoker or pets in there, I want to sanitize and really clean it up for our next client. And so that's when you would just, and realtors will use that. They'll take it in and just sanitize. They need to do a quick cleanup before they do a showing. Or you have an office that has issues in it. You want to be able to clean that up real quickly. And a lot of times you'll be able to clean it up most of the time within a couple of hours, but it all depends on the penetration that's in the carpeting, the foam, the walls, everything. It could take up to 16 days. Like this one home we had, it was over $1 million home. It was bank owned. They were smokers for years and years and years, like big time smokers, like, that like 2 packs a day. And they just really got that surged, if you will, okay, in the walls and everything. And so they went in, they cleaned it all up. It took about a week or so. Every night, the banker would go to the house after everyone was gone, put it on the 8-hour away mode, and turn the fan on the furnace for the air circulation. That's important. When it's on the depart mode, you want to, if you do, have the fan on the furnace running so it circulates and permeates and things like that. Another away mode option is you want to go in and clean up the ductworks in your home. You put that right next to the cold air return. You put it on a 2-hour away mode. You leave the house for 3 hours. You're going to have nice and fresh, clean. It takes care of bacteria and viruses and mold, all that stuff in your ductwork system as well. So this little bugger does a lot of cleaning. The other thing it does, I work a lot with auto agencies, automobile cleaning, car cleaning. They want to go in, they get a car that maybe is had smoke in it and mold or mildew. They use it, they put it in the car. And the trick to that is you want to roll down the window maybe an inch on each side and run the air conditioner for maybe 15 minutes, the heater for 15 minutes. It'll clean up that car just wonderfully. So many different, boats, yachts, RVs, everywhere. It's just a great opportunity to use this. So that's the away mode, the depart mode, if you will. And then you have the regular area. Okay, so we go over to the area A Pure Plus. So you can then, when you're on the A Pure, when we turn on that 500 square foot, if you go over and maybe you want 1,000 square foot, that's where the A Pure Plus is, and you can go to 1,000 square foot, and 2,000 and 3,000. So then it's manual that you can run this at, and then it doesn't shut off like after the 2, 4, 8-hour away mode like the other depart mode. So that's the difference there in that. And then of course you have your fan control to the right, higher the better. I just love them there as well. So we're going to crank this back down. And actually, we're going to shut this off. I'm going to turn both machines around, and I'm going to show you pretty much the difference of, let's see here. I'm going to unplug this. Unplug this. All right, on both machines, you see the 2 press buttons here, and you want to do it with both. Press them at the same time. They pop out. You would wash this. Soap and water is good. Okay. We're going to pop this one out. All right. Over here, they come with a screw. And so and it actually comes with a little screwdriver in the actual owner's manual that you can take this screw out. So you want to take a little screw out here. It's a little tiny screw that I've done, but it's a little tiny screw right here. Okay. Take that out on both of them, and I've done that already. Here's your HEPA filter. You're going to vacuum clean this off. Okay, that's pretty much what you're going to do. Vacuum clean, okay? Replacement on this is between 12 months is suggested on these, so you want to replace them at that time, okay? Same thing here, vacuum clean it off. Here's the difference. You've got the 2 cells here, and you've got the single cell with the plate, okay? Maintenance on these things, and pretty much you can vacuum clean, you can take these cells out, the screws come right out on these things, and you can take them right out. You can unplug them right here. It unplugs. There's a little plug here. As you can see, they unplug right below up here. They pop right out. Okay, so you can take these out. You can wipe it down on the inside, clean it up that way, wipe off the top if you will. If you need to, you can clean the fan blade up on top as well. And the same scenario here. Now that's on the Air and Surface Pro. Pretty much same on Air and Surface Pro Plus, other than if you have the Plus, this is the plate, okay? Now, this is the plate that works in all of our machines, our previous machines and the new one. But the previous plates will not work in our new Air and Surface Pro. So as you can see here, this is how you insert it. It's very clear. The arrow's going in. You're going to insert it that way, okay? If you look at the previous models, you would insert it this way. They're a different size, okay? So you want to make sure that, and I just mentioned that because some people have our previous Fresh Air Surround models, but it's the same plate when you go back and order it in the back office. So you want to clean this right here with a little bit of like a ammonia or biodegradable soap. I use a little bit of ammonia, like a tablespoon of, or a fourth of a cup of ammonia to a fourth of a cup of water. You don't really need that much. I even do like a tablespoon of each, put it into a little cup, take a toothbrush, scrub it, rinse it with hot water, dry it with a hair dryer, let it air dry. just make sure that it's completely dry before you put it back into the unit. And these are ceramic. You want to be mindful of that. They may crack or break. You don't want to do that. So be careful with this plate. You can obviously always order more, but it's very simple to guide back in here the plates, and push it in as far as it'll go, and that's it. And then you can put the pretty much put it all back together. Okay, this pops in, and you'll hear that click in there. Okay, and then we go over to the final, and you always want to use two. There we go. That's it. That's the Air and Surface Pro. And as I said, we love these products. The really great thing about this Air and Surface Pro is your client is going to know the difference in their air quality within about an hour to 24 hours, literally, no kidding. And so it's amazing. It's amazing product. And then, you know, we do have suggestions on, let's say you have an area that that is dirty, that is, you want cleaned up. You want to take that and just sanitize, and you can do that with the Air and Surface Pro Plus. So I hope that helps a lot of you, ladies and gentlemen, on the line today. And if there's any other questions, email your upline and we'll cover those.